Sasagutin natin to, Ceci Bells. So, yung earliest sign, earliest pang-assess sa patient, syempre, hemodynamic status, yung chest pain, dapat included daw lahat maliban sa hair color, syempre kasi included yung relocation, radiation, and quality. Sa dyspnea, kapag nakahiga is orthopnea. Yung nighttime awaking is PND or paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. Yung earliest symptom ng cardiovascular disease is fatigue. And yung palpitations is triggered ng anxiety, nicotine, and caffeine. So, all of the above. Yung cyanosis is a bluish color ng skin. Ina-assess siya peripheral ba o central. Yung jugular vein is pang-assess ng jugular venous pressure. So, yung pulse pressure, difference ng systolic and diastolic. So, 120 minus 80 equals 40. 90 minus 60 is equals to 30. Kaya yung normal pulse pressure is yung 40 and 30 to 40. So, yung increased pulse pressure is pare-parehong dahil sa exercise, fever, and anxiety. Kaya all of the above yan. And yung decreased pulse pressure naman is dahil sa shock, pwedeng dahil sa heart failure, and pwedeng dahil sa hypovolemia. Kaya kaya all of the above yung sagot dyan. Yung orthostatic hypotension is kadalasang cause niya is nagkakos ng dizziness, syncope, and lightheadedness. Kaya all of the above yan. Yung normal na tinataas is 5 to 20 beats per minute kapag nakatayo. Yung orthostatic hypotension is pwedeng dahil sa dehydration, blood loss, and autonomic dysfunction. And yung pulse deficit is difference between apical and peripheral. So again, pulse deficit difference between peripheral and apical, while pulse pressure is the difference between systolic and diastolic. Okay. So, yung edema, fluid accumulation sa tissue. Yung lifestyle history kasama smoking, exercise, and stress. Yung dietary assessment is kasama yung salt intake, cholesterol intake, and alcohol use. Kaya all of the above. Family history kasama yung diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. Kaya all of the above yan. Yung effective self-care, masasabi mo na effective yung self-care nila kapag kaya nila mag-recognize ng symptoms. Yung general appearance is kasama lahat yung consciousness, distress, and thought process. Kaya all of the above. Yung pallor is caused ng lack of oxyhemoglobin. Sa dark skin, chinecheck natin yung pallor sa palms and sa soles. Yung peripheral cyanosis is nakikita sa nose, sa lips, sa fingernails, and sa earlobes. Kaya all of the above yung sagot. Yung central cyanosis is nakikita sa tongue and buccal mucosa, kaya both A and B. Yung central cyanosis is nag-i-indicate ang serious cardiac disorder, and yung centelasma is sign ng hypercholesterolemia. Yung patient na nagtitake na anticoagulant ay dapat nating i-monitor for ecchymosis, and yung excessive bruising is nagsasuggest ng high anticoagulant dose. Yung reduced skin trigger is merong dehydration. Kapag cold, clammy skin is may shock or cardiogenic shock. Yung diaphoresis sign ng MI. Yung pacemaker is sine-check natin for erosion. Yung skin assessment is nag-check tayo for gangrene, petechiae, and ulcers. Kaya all of the above yan. Sorry guys, wait lang. So, yung peripheral pulses, yun yung radial, femoral, dorsalis pedis, kaya all of the above yung sagot natin dito. Kapag narinig mo yung apical impulse below 5th intercostal space, ibig sabihin lumaki yung left ventricle, kaya nagkaroon ng left ventricular enlargement. Yung trill is significant cardiac pathology yung sign niya, and Yung heart auscultation is pinapakinggan natin yung apet M. Aortic, pulmonic, Erb's point, tricuspid, and mitral. Kaya all of the above to. Yung normal heart sounds are yung 1 and 2 lang, while yung 3, sign na siya ng rapid ventricular filling, and yung 4, atrial contraction yung sign niya. So, yung S3 is naririnig in children and both young adults. Yung S4 is associated with hypertension, coronary artery disease, and hypertrophy ng ventricles. Yung murmurs is nagre-result dahil sa turbulent blood flow or regurgitation. Yung pericardial friction rub naririnig sa pericarditis. Yung friction rub naririnig natin siya best with diaphragm. And yung capillary refill assesses peripheral circulation. Yung clubbing, sign siya ng chronic hemoglobin desaturation. And yung lower extremities ulcer is, ibig sabihin, merong insufficiency sa arterial and venous pressure. Ikaw na bahala kung alin doon. Pero parehong dalawa na yon is nagre-result sa ulcer sa lower extremity. So, which symptom is associated with AMI daw. So, yung chest pain nararamdaman sa MI, pati yung dyspnea and diaphoresis, kaya yung sagot is all of the above. Which is not a presenting cardiovascular symptoms, syempre yung hearing loss. Yung BP is mini-measure and nire-record siya. Yung vessel is pinapalpate sa neck is tinatawag na carotid artery. So, yung peripheral cyanosis may occur with cold exposure, heart failure, and anxiety. Kaya all of the above yan. Yung central cyanosis is dahil sa poor oxygenation. Yung xanthelasma is kadalasang nag-appear sa eyelids. Yung ecchymosis is bruising. Yung cold clammy skin is nangyayari dahil sa vasoconstriction. Tama ba? Vasoconstriction. Kasi, pag lumiit kapag nag-contract yung mga vessels, ibig sabihin, parang iniipon lang nila yung init doon. Kaya nagkakaroon ng cold clammy skin kasi hindi nakalabas yung init. Yung gangrene is ina-assess during skin inspection. Yung pulse rhythm is ina-assess during arterial pulse examination, and yung heart rate is ina-auscultate sa apex ng heart, and yung sound na nag-occur after atrial contraction is yung S4 nga. Yung quadruple rhythm, so sinabi na nga, quadruple 4 heart sounds yon. Yung murmurs is naririnig nga kasi may regurgitation. Yung heart sounds is ina-assess natin for intensity, splitting, and rhythm. Kaya all of the above. Yung peripheral edema is commonly nakikita sa feet and legs, kaya nga peripheral. Well, yung pitting edema is ina-assess natin siya. Hindi natin siya ini-ignore, hindi rin naman siya mini-measure through x-ray. And yung BP, nagre-reflect siya ng cardiac output and vascular resistance. So, yung resistance, yan yung word for pressure. Yan na yung keyword natin. Yung syncope, ibig sabihin nun, nawalan ng malay. Ano daw yung condition na associated with orthostatic hypotension? So, lahat ng to, kapag na-dehydrate ka, na-lose ka ng blood, nagkaroon ng reduced intravascular volume, and yung apical pulse is naririnig natin best at the apex of the heart. Ang isang sign ng poor arterial circulation is delayed capillary refill. So, yung heart sound na kadalasang naririnig kapag mayroong heart failure is S3. Yung primary purpose ng altered perfusion assessment is to, syempre, evaluate yung cardiovascular function. So, here we have yung sa may diagnostic test. So, sinabi dito, ano daw yung test na nagre-record ng electrical activity of the heart. So, syempre, from the word electrocardiogram or ECG. Yung ECG is kadalasang gumagamit ng 12 lead and yung Holter monitor na ECG is nagmo-monitor for 24 hours. Yung P-wave is nagre-represent ng atrial depolarization. Siya lang yung nag-iisang atrial. While yung QRS is sila naman yung ventricular depolarization. While yung T naman, siya naman yung ventricular repolarization. Yung U-wave is nakikita natin sa mga patient na nag-hypokalemia. And yung normal PR is 0.12 to 0.20, while yung normal QRS is 0.06 to 0.10. Yung ST segment is nagre-represent siya ng interval between ventricular repolarization and depolarization. Yung echocardiography is gumagamit ng ultrasound, and yung echocardiography is useful sa pag-diagnose ng peripheral effusion. Yung fluoroscopy is nagpro-provide siya ng continuous X-ray images, and yung cardiac catheterization is invasive. Yung right-sided cardiac catheterization is nag-enter through a vein, while yung left-sided cardiac catheterization is nag-enter through femoral artery. So, yung cardiac catheterization is ginagamit pang diagnose ng coronary artery disease or CAD. And yung angiography naman is nagve-visualize ng blood vessels gamit yung radio-opaque contrast dye. So, yung coronary arteriography naman is nag-evaluate ng coronary artery disease. And dapat bago magkaroon ng cardiac catheterization, dapat syempre may consent tayo. And yung patient is nag-pass for 8 to 12 hours. Nagpapalaboratory din tayo ng PT and APTT para ensure na hindi magbe-bleed yung patient. So, during cardiac catheterization, naglalagay ng IV line para sa sedative, fluids, and medication. After mag-inject daw ng contrast dye is makakaramdam ka ng flush feeling. And dapat i-instruct din ng nurse yung patient na mag-cough para ma-clear yung contrast agent and ma-disrupt yung dysrhythmias. After ng cardiac catheterization, syempre dapat titingnan natin yung catheterization site and ina-assess yung peripheral pulses after ng catheterization. So, if yung femoral artery is ginamit, syempre, bed rest lang muna, bawal maglakad. Binapagyan ng fluid yung patient para ma-flush out yung dye. And yung patient is dapat mag-ask ng help pag babangon sa bed kasi para ma-avoid natin yung orthostatic hypotension. Yung CVP, ang meaning niya is central venous pressure. And yung CVP is nag-a-assess ng right ventricular function. Yung normal CVP is 2 to 6 mmHg and yung increased CVP is nag-i-indicate ng heart failure. So, yung decreased CVP is nag-i-indicate naman na hypovolemia. And yung most common complications nila is infection and air embolism. Yung PAP naman or pulmonary artery pressure is pang left ventricular function. And yung normal PAP is 18 to 25. Bago tayo mag-insert ng arterial catheter, yung nurse is dapat mag-perform ng Allen test kung saan chinecheck yung collateral circulation, and kapag nirelease dapat yung ulnar artery is dapat mag-pink yung hand. Yung intra-atrial BP monitoring naman is direct and continuous BP yung minomonitor niya, and yung common arterial catheter insertion is sa radial artery. So, yung one complication ng intra-arterial artery is syempre air embolism. So, yung catheter placement is kino-confirm through X-ray, and yung catheter site dapat is covered ng dry and sterile dressing. Yung CVP measurement, dapat ka-level niya yung right atrium, and na-obtain, after mag-obtain yung CVP, dapat i-return natin yung stopcock to IV infusion position. Yung PAP or pulmonary artery is gumagamit ng balloon tip catheter, and yung pulmonary artery pressure is nakaka-help ma-diagnose yung left-sided heart failure. So, anong condition daw yung nagkakos ng reduced blood flow sa coronary artery due to atherosclerosis and thrombus and embolus? So, yun ay ang acute coronary syndrome. So, which is not the following na hindi included sa acute coronary syndrome, yung stable angina. Yung unstable angina is characterized siya ng no evidence of serum markers for cardiac damage. While yung difference naman ng NSTEMI sa kanya is merong serum markers for myocardial injury damage. So, yung STEMI naman is complete coronary occlusion kumpara sa unstable and NSTEMI. So, yung pathophysiologic process daw ng unstable angina and ng non-STEMI is nagkaroon ng rupture of an unstable plaque. So, yung acute ischemic event is commonly caused siya ng decreased coronary lumen dahil sa platelet-rich thrombi. So, naglalast siya ng more than 20 minutes, and yung NSTEMI, also known as heart attack siya. Yung NSTEMI nagkaroon ng ischemic death of myocardial tissue. And yung infarction, yung area ng infarction is nakadepende sa coronary artery affected and sa blood supply nun. Yung myocardial infarction is irreversible na dahil sa prolonged ischemia. And yung kadalasan niya naapektuhan is yung left ventricle. And yung most common cause ng transmural MI is yung occlusive intracoronary thrombus. Ano daw yung pwedeng makapag-contribute sa MI? So, lahat ng to, yung vasospasm, emboli, and occlusive thrombus. During ischemia, yung myocardial is nag-shift to anaerobic metabolism since wala na ngang oxygen doon. So, yung loss of contractile function is nangyayari within 2 hours, and yung irreversible myocardial death is nag-occur within 20 to 40 minutes. Kapag sinabing ventricular remodeling, yun ay yung nangyayaring structural changes sa ventricle after STEMI. So, in ventricular remodeling, yung muscle is yung infarcted na muscle is nagiging thin and dilated. While yung mga nakapaligid naman sa kanya is nag-hypertrophy. Kasi sila yung bumabawi ng work para dun sa infarcted part. So, yung excessive remodeling is nagli-lead sa aneurysm formation, and yung chest pain during STEMI is hindi nare-relieve ng rest or ng nitroglycerin. Kaya ginigive ay morphine. So, para sa mga patient na merong diabetes, hindi sila nakakaramdam masyado ng chest pain kasi meron silang neuropathy. And yung sudden death sa STEMI is kadalasang cause ng ventricular fibrillation. So, ito lang, inulit lang, ventricular fibrillation pa rin yung sagot. And yung ventricular fibrillation, yun ay yung nag-quiver yung heart instead of contracting effectively. Dito, yung ECG finding is wala daw depolarization ng Q wave. And yung ST elevation naman is nag-indicate ng ng transmural acute injury. While yung ST segment depression naman is injury sa subendocardium. So, yung primary serum biomarker natin is troponin. And yung troponin is nagra-rise yung level niya approximately 3 hours. And nagre-remain siyang mataas for 7 to 10 days. Yung myoglobin is hindi ginagamit hindi naman ginagamit. Parang ginagamit pa rin siya, pero hindi kasi siya specific kasi nakikita din siya sa cardiac and skeletal muscle. So, yung echocardiogram is ginagamit para malaman yung ventricular function, and yung ejection fraction is yung percentage ng blood na napapump out sa left ventricle during each contraction. Yung main goal natin sa MI is syempre is ma-minimize yung myocardial damage and ma-prevent yung complications. And kapag sinabing reperfusion therapy is dapat magbibigay tayo ng thrombolytic therapy or PCI para mawala yung clot. And yung medication na ginigive is aspirin. Yung morphine, yung drug of choice kasi nagre-relieve siya ng pain and anxiety. Yung nitroglycerin is meron lang siyang vasodilating effect. Yung beta blockers is nag-decrease sila ng myocardial oxygen demand by reducing the heart rate and contractility. While yung ACE inhibitor naman is nagbo-block ng conversion ng ACE ng angiotensin 1 to angiotensin 2. And yung thrombolytic drug naman from the word thrombolytic is nagde-dissolve ng coronary thrombi. Yung thrombolytic therapy is dapat ma-start siya within 30 minutes of arrival or door to needle time. And yung PCI is dapat 90 minutes of first medical contact. Yung balloon PTCA is ginagamit para ma-dilate yung stenotic atherosclerotic plaque, and yung coronary stent is ginagamit para ma-keep nating open yung artery. Yung primary nursing intervention para sa mga patient na may ischemia is syempre i-relieve yung pain and i-monitor yung respiratory function. Ano nga ba yung na-expect nating outcome para sa mga patient na mayroong ischemic heart disease? Syempre, magkaroon ng adequate tissue perfusion. So, next we have sa heart failure, yung inability ng heart na mag-pump ng enough blood para masupplyan lahat. Anong term yung mas preferred rather than congestive heart failure? Di heart failure lang. Yung congestive heart failure kasi is considered as acute presentation ng HF. And most cases ng HF is minamanage through lifestyle changes and medication. Primary cause kasi ng HF is yung coronary artery atherosclerosis, and yung mga condition na nagkukos ng focal heart muscle necrosis, from the word necrosis is myocardial infarction. So, yung ejection fraction, yun yung percentage na napapump out from the left ventricle during each beat, and yung heart failure is classified based on ventricular ejection fraction. Yung systolic dysfunction is characterized siya as from the word pag systolic contractility. Kaya ang pipilain natin dito is yung myocardial contractility. Yung ejection fraction below 40 is nag-indicate ng systolic dysfunction. And then decrease in ejection fraction is nagkakos ng increase sa diastolic volume. Yung decrease sa cardiac output is nag-activate ng RAAS and SNS or sympathetic nervous system. So, yung afterload is yun yung pressure na dapat malabanan ng heart or makapag-pump against siya. Well, yung preload naman is yun yung initial stretching ng heart before contraction. Yung HF is nagiging worse dahil sa vicious cycle, and yung diastolic dysfunction mainly involves the ventricular relaxation and feeling. Kasi kapag D is equal to R, or diastolic equals relaxation. So, sa diastolic, yung ejection fraction is normal kasi yung ejection fraction is about the contractility. And, yung diastolic relaxation lang naman siya or feeling eh. So, yung diastolic dysfunction decreases the ventricular feeling. So, yung left-sided heart failure is nakaka-apekto sa lung, while yung right-sided naman is systemic naman siya. Yung classic sign ng right-sided heart failure is JVD, and yung common cause niya is dependent edema. Nagkakaroon din tayo ng hepatomegaly or enlarged liver, and nagkakaroon ng weight gain within 24 hours na 2 pounds or 2 lb. And yung edema is nagde-decrease siya kapag naka-elevate yung leg. And yung tenderness sa right upper abdomen is dahil sa liver congestion. Yung major manifestation ng left-sided heart failure is pulmonary congestion kasi yung fluid-filled alveoli is nagkakaroon ng impaired gas exchange, kaya nagkakaroon ng dyspnea and orthopnea. Nagkakaroon din ng paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea and ng pulmonary edema. So, dahil doon nagkakaroon ng decreased kidney perfusion na nagli-lead sa pag-release ng renin. So, kapag reduce yung urine output less than 30 ml per day, tinatawag yung oliguria. And yung diagnostic test na nagko-confirm ng heart failure and measures ejection fraction is echocardiogram. Yung ACE inhibitor is nagde-decrease ng preload and afterload. And anong ginagamit kapag hindi carry mag-take ng ACE inhibitor? Yung mga ARB. So, ano yung drug class na nag-i-increase ng urine? Diuretics. Yung digoxin naman nagpapataas ng myocardial contractility, and yung recommended diet sa kanila is low sodium diet.